What is up, friends of Treehouse? Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to do something we haven't done in a while, and that's take you through a number of beverages that we're super excited about in the autumn of 2024. If you are unfamiliar with this type of video, what we do here at Treehouse is we take you through a full spectrum of products that we make. In addition to being a brewery, we actually have a coffee roastery where we make whole bean coffee and cold brew, and we have a full service distillery where we make spirits and canned cocktails. So autumn is one of our favorite drinking times of the year, and here at Treehouse we actually have 6 destinations where you can do so. If you haven't visited this time of year, it's this beautiful in all of its splendor. Even when the color passes, there's just something so beautiful about drinking beer outside when the weather is crisp and refreshing. So if you haven't, look us up. Check out our places in Charlton, Deerfield, Tewksbury, Sandwich, Boston, and Woodstock, Connecticut. All right, so I mentioned our coffee roastery. I'm not going to review any of the whole beans that we have currently for our offerings, but we do have a whole host of autumnal-themed lattes. And those are some of the lattes that get us the most excited here at Treehouse. And certainly in terms of sales, those things fly off the shelf. So if you're at all interested, don't sleep on these 2 wonderful lattes. We have pumpkin spice and maple latte. All natural ingredients, steeped here fresh on site. You can taste the difference. We don't use commodity coffee as a base. In fact, we select the base coffee to already be spicy and expressive before imparting the rest of the ingredients in these beverages. They're creamy, smooth, and delicious. They're not overly sweet. They do have a little bit of sugar, but they're not super saccharine, and they're very, very pleasant and easy to drink. So that's maple spice latte and pumpkin spice latte. So before we move on to our cocktails that we're most excited about, we have 2 other coffee-based products. We have the mocha latte, which is infused with our own chocolate syrup, which we make in-house. Super delicious and refreshing. And of course, for spooky season, we have Scaragon. All right, so up next is moving on to our distilled spirits. The team here in the distillery is very excited about. You know, here in the brewery, we release a lot of products, and some days are more exciting than other days. When we released this maple liqueur, the amount of excitement in the brewery was palpable. This is one of those products that even for us gets us super excited. This is made with fermented maple syrup, which is then back sweetened, of course, with maple syrup to make a liqueur. This is really awesome in a maple old fashioned. So take your favorite bourbon, make your favorite old fashioned recipe, add a little splash of this, and instantly you'll have a maple, rich, sweet, delicious autumnal drink. Of course, the maple liqueur is a spirit that we're very excited about, but our distillery has a whole host of products that get us excited, especially this time of year. If you're unfamiliar with it, certainly check out the website. Hopefully Michael can pop some stuff on the screen here that shows you the full scope and breadth of our spirit program. We're in our 3rd, 4th year now, and it's not a small operation. And if you're unfamiliar with it, I would strongly encourage you to check it out. So a great entry into our spirits program is our canned cocktails program. If you're not a mixologist at home and you prefer the comfort and convenience of a cocktail that has been mixed for you, we also have plenty of those. Recently returning is our pumpkin buck. This is a wonderful, delicious, spicy pumpkin theme, basically vodka soda that actually features our award-winning, that's right, it makes me proud to say that, our house vodka, wheat, won double gold in the San Francisco Spirits Competition. It was actually ranked 97 out of 100, and we were in the running for the top 5 best in show. House vodka goes into this pumpkin buck and makes it smooth and delicious. This is a really refreshing autumnal drink, not overly heavy, spicy, pumpkin spices, easy to drink, a little bit sweet, time and time again. That's the pumpkin buck. Next, I want to highlight Admiral Percy's Punch. This beverage is a mouthful, and it's one of the most unique products that we make, and it's also one of the most delicious and most requested. We originally released this last year, and people clamor for it. We get emails all year round asking when Admiral Percy's Punch is going to return. Admiral Percy's Punch is made with Treehouse Gin, which is called Percy's, black tea, cranberry, apple cider, maple syrup, cinnamon. This is literally autumn in a can. I strongly encourage you to try it. We've never met a person that doesn't fall in love with it. All right, so I want to move on, guys, to the part that you've probably been waiting for, which are the beers that we are most excited about this autumn. If I were just making a lager video, which I probably should do, and if you want us to do, please leave a comment below, get subscribed to the channel. It would probably be a couple of hours long. We spent the last half a decade building our classic style beer program into something that we are incredibly proud of. In fact, I think it's some of the best work that Treehouse is doing and has ever done. So our full spectrum of currently available lagers, ranging from traditional lagers, simply fermented and conditioned in stainless, to lagers that are fermented in oak, to lagers that are fermented in second-use wine barrels, tequila barrels, etc. We have an extraordinary variety of beer that is currently available at Treehouse, both on draft and in cans to go. So I don't want to highlight anything specifically. I've got a can of Little Fire right here, which is our smoked Helles, and I have a can of Nomad. These are two of my favorite Treehouse beers. If I had to name my top 10, these two beers would be on it. Lager video, we're going to save that for another time, but please, if you're a fan of the style, you might be surprised by how much and the quality of Treehouse's efforts in this realm. Next lineup of beers that I want to highlight are our Wet Hop series. If you are unfamiliar with the project this year, we will link the video down below. Treehouse's Wet Hop project this year was the most ambitious project we've arguably ever done for beer, period. We took our orange sleeper trailer, we drove it across country, and we visited our favorite hop farms, and we spent a great deal of time selecting hops in the field that were then flushed with nitrogen, driven directly back to Treehouse, and then put into these beers. These beers are actually surprisingly resilient, and I think based on the scale of the project, we'll have them around for another month or two through Thanksgiving and the holidays. So if you have a chance to try them, I would strongly encourage you to do so. Our friends at Jackson Farm in Idaho were part of the project. Our friends at Carpenter Ranches. We ventured to Oregon. We ventured to Colorado. But wet hop beers are the purest expression of a hop. If you're not familiar, brewers use hops basically in two ways. They either use fresh hop from the vine, or once the hops are harvested, they have to be kilned, which allows them to be preserved. And from that point, you can either use whole cones or pelletized hops. This is a different expression of hops that you can only get during the harvest window because they're not preserved via kilning. So I strongly encourage you not to miss this opportunity to get the purest expression of our favorite growers' hops that you can possibly get. Love these beers. And moving on to something that we get excited about year-round, some of our most popular, fastest-selling seasonal beers, the spooky beers. Right now in the cooler, we have a proper Evil Julius can. Getting this guy into a proper can, you got the skull and the fiery tree. This is like one of the cooler cans we've ever made. Evil Julius is a big, juicy version of the King that we only make this time of year. This beer moves very, very quickly. The filming of this video, it's the 24th of October. I would not expect this guy to last beyond Halloween. So if you are watching and you want to try the Evil King, get your butt out here. Another fun pair that we often brew this time of year is the Ghost Emoji and the Extra Spooky, both heavily featuring Nelson and Mosaic with a little bit of Citra. These beers are big, juicy, and delicious. And of course, our favorite thing about these beers is that they have a really cool glow-in-the-dark label. One pro tip, if you do get your hands on these beers, you really got to smash them with light for the glow-in-the-dark to be as effective as it is in the images you just saw pop on screen. We actually use the off-camera flash to just blast them with light before turning off the lights. And if you do that, you will be rewarded with a very, very bright glow-in-the-dark experience. Of course, if you do hold your phone up to it and just kind of blast it with light for a second, you will get a good ghost emoji. But if you're a photographer at home and you have off-camera flash and you blast it with that, it's going to be really bright and colorful. But not only are these two beers super, super fun from a label perspective, given their hop makeup and their recipe, they're actually two of our favorite beers of the year. So again, they only come around once, and if you are here at Treehouse, they do sell quickly. Don't wait and don't miss out. All right, so the final beer that I want to highlight today is another kind of spooky autumnal beer. It's called We Live Among Ghosts. I really like the sentiment of this beer. If you're a fan of Treehouse or not, and you're not familiar with the brand, Often, sentiments of humanity are wrapped around our concepts of beer. And for me, the idea that we live among places that have been influenced by and occupied by people that are no longer with us is kind of a concept that I find comforting in a way. The idea that once we move on, we still hang out, whether in, the work that we've done or the spaces that we've inhabited. But this beer typically features our freshest hop selections and the hop selections that we are currently the most excited about, regardless of where they come from. So this beer does change slightly with each batch. I think that this is the third batch. The guys on the brew deck were especially excited about this one. All right, gang, that's all I got for today. One of the reasons that we like doing these videos is to remind you that we're far beyond just the brewery here in 2024, heading into 2025. Treehouse is a wonderful destination. All 6 of our locations, if you have not visited. The beauty of Woodstock, especially in the autumn, even post-peak leaf peeping, is phenomenal. Charlton, Deerfield, and Tewksbury are all looking wonderful. Sandwich after Labor Day kind of chills out, and frankly, I think the time between Labor Day and Christmas is one of the best times to visit. And of course, our brand new Beer to Go location in Boston is full speed ahead. You guys have been awesome. Your support there has been wonderful, so we really, really appreciate that. If you guys enjoy this content, make sure you check out the rest of it that we have on the channel. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time. Be good.